Okay, so the last lesson asked you to read an extract from the Native American nonfiction text Night Flying Woman, and as you were reading, to highlight whatever it is that it asks you to look for. So, textual evidence for, let's say, the Ojibwe's beliefs or their um, roles and responsibilities, how they view and treat nature, or the older generations. Um, etc. So you're going to be thinking of using that document and you're going to be writing a paragraph. And the paragraph, the question prompt is, in what way does the Ojibwe culture compare to your culture? And this is the structure that we want to see. So we want to see that you start with a claim that answers the question. So over here, it says, the Ojibwe culture believes that power resides in rites and ceremony rather than in herbs and medicine, while my culture believes in the power of medicine to heal. So we have a clear comparison. So it might be how the two cultures are similar, it might be how the two cultures are different, and occasionally it might be like start off with a similarity, but then like at the end you might like notice a or draw out a difference as well. Um, Textual evidence. So you're going to find a quote from your extract in the left-hand column, something you've highlighted that supports the claim that you've made. So now you'll notice in this one, um, it I had to do some sort of an I, like I had to introduce the quote, otherwise the quote wouldn't have made sense. Now you might have to do that as well, and you might not. It really just depends on the quote that you choose. So in Night Flying Woman, Broker explains how I'm not really sure how to say that, Me De Wee N was a group within all Ojibwe communities, much like our medical field today. This group used rites or words and ceremonies as well as herbs and medicine. It is interesting that the use of the rites was restricted, but most adult Ojibwe had a general knowledge of herbs and medicine. Now you'll notice how I have two quotes there, and I could have had a really, really long quote, um, or done, or had dot 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 in between those two, but I chose to just take the part that I needed, um, and the parts that I needed, and work them into my own sentence. So you don't have to necessarily do that. I'm just telling you that's how I stopped from having a really long quote or a dot 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 in between. Um, Next, your evidence. Okay, so in contrast, there are very strict limitations on who can prescribe and dispense medicines and even some herbs in my culture. And then your reasoning for why this evidence, okay, these two pieces of evidence, supports this claim, okay, that for the Ojibwe, the power resides in rites and ceremony rather than in herbs and medicine, okay? So, societies often restrict what they deem to be powerful from average citizens. In our culture today, this can be seen in our inability to access drugs. However, the fact that the Ojibwe restricted rights shows how powerful they believe words to be. To them, they are even more powerful than drugs. Okay? So they're like the people who are part of like their medical field, they restrict, like not everyone can say the rights, only they can say the rights, only they can say the words, right? So they like the power lies in the words, whereas pretty much everybody can have access to the drugs or the herbs. Okay. um, so when you click on your assignment, which is right here, okay, it just reminds you to watch the video lesson, which you've obviously done. Open up this attached PDF, which is this document right here. I said look closely at the structure of the piece. I mean, right here. And then the example paragraph is color coded to match, or this is color coded to match each part of the comparison paragraph, the example. In addition, notice how the claim is an inference that has been made based on the reading. It is not something that is directly said in the text, because you don't like you want something that you've inferred and not literally just like something the text is actually says. Um, Also, your quote might require some sort of introduction for it to make sense, like mine did, it might not. Finally, I said, look at how the reasoning is developed and moves beyond simply repeating the claim or what the evidence says. So down here, okay, this doesn't just repeat the evidence, it doesn't just repeat the claim. It's not one sentence, simple to the point, this proves my claim because, right? It's more thoughtful, it's more developed. It has a level of analysis or interpretation to it. So finally, you're going to use your 0909 Night Flying Woman assignment and the PDF that's attached to write your comparison paragraph, which answers this question. In what way does the Ojibwe culture compare to your own culture? And you should follow this structure, and your paragraph should look similar to this one. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.